All right,
Phew. Okay.
let's get this show on the road. Deep breath. Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode number 167 of What Does This Button Do? It's an educational show about smartphones and tablets with us, Geeks on Tour. Today's beginner's lesson is video editing basics, but first, Chris has a quick tip. What do you have there, Chris?
Well, how to take video with your phone and snap a photo at the same time. One more slide. So this is for those times when you are taking a video of a speedboat going by, and you're taking the video and you really need to get that video, but then you think, oh, darn, I want a photo of it right when it's at the sunset or something like that. Well, there's a way to do that. While you're taking video, there is a button on your screen that says take a photo. The iPhone one is shown in the image on the left and the Android on the image on the right. But I want to do I want to prove it to you. So I'm going to see if you can see this. So I have my iPhone and I get into video mode.
Hi there, everyone. Welcome to episode number 167 of
I always do that. It wasn't on. As soon as the video is actually on, you notice a white button.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
All right, and you can see that what button. I'll wave, and you can do all that stuff. All right.
Now, and then you stop the video. Okay. Now I tapped that button 3 times. You do not hear a click. You don't really even see a flash. You feel like it's not working. But I want to prove to you that it did by going into Google Photos. And up at the top here, there is the video. I always do that. It wasn't on. And there are the 3 photos that I shot. And on the Android, or on my Android, not all will have this, but on the Samsung Note 9, which is what I have, I'm not going to do it, but if you're taking video, then this little button here is the camera. You tap that and it will take a photo. Now, what if you don't think of it? I mean, it's very easy to do, but you have to remember while you're taking video, you say, I want a photo. You got to remember that you can click that. If you didn't, you can still get it by taking a screenshot, by playing your video, pausing it, and then you still have to play it and quick take a screenshot. So it's a little tricky, but if you really want a photo, while from a video, it can be done even after the fact.
Okay, cool. Let's see. I don't see any questions here, but I would like to say hi to some people that are out there. So Sheila and Steve and Bill and Karen and Richard. Wow, Cecilia. Yeah, Richard and Rosemary. Cool.
Michael Hi, everybody. Daniels. Did you miss us last week? We did not miss you. We were scuba diving.
We were having a great time. Yeah, it was really a lot of fun. And so that's what we're going to be doing here today. And is your smartphone smarter than you? Hi, everyone. I'm Jim, and here together with my wife, Chris, we are Geeks on Tour. Do you think your smartphone is smarter than you? Might be. And
I know it is. There's no doubt.
If you have questions about your iPad or your Android or any of these devices, and how do you learn about these amazing devices, Chris?
Well, we are geeks who teach, also known as propeller heads, geeks. And lifelong learning is our mission. So we came up with these weekly or shows where we pick a topic, so it keeps it small. You can learn in bite-sized pieces on a regular basis. That is the best way to learn, and all of our content is collected on our website, geeksontour.com.
All right, Chris, where are we now?
We're home. We're actually home for most of the summer, which is Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
And that's odd for us because we're usually on the road during the summer.
But here we are, and it's Jim's job to keep the perpetually falling leaves clear from the backyard.
That's my main job here at the townhouse, cleaning leaves. All right, our beginner's lesson today is video editing basics and concepts for travelers, and it's about memories and not marketing. So this is the fun stuff that we like to do.
So what we are not talking, I mean, if you Google for video editing on YouTube, it seems like everybody's talking about how to do marketing videos, all business related. We are not business related. We are not going to teach you technical video skills or how to become a YouTube star. What we are talking about is just personal home movies, vacation videos. And also what we're talking about is doing it on the computer. This is one of our shows where we will be using the computer, not just the phones. But some people like to do a little bit more involved videos. So that's what we're talking about today.
All right. Now, we have done this before. In episode number 147, we talked about video editing on the Chromebook with the Quick program. That is an app that goes for the on the Chromebook, and you can edit it, and it comes from the GoPro people. So
yeah, that was our topic when we got back from diving in the Cayman Islands last year. But we didn't. Quick was not good enough. Quick is really cool for Android and for iOS, but not for the computer.
Right.
So you can't just edit anything using Quick on the computer, and it was lacking some features. So we had to continue looking.
Still looking, yeah. And this program called Filmora, what we'll be showing today, was actually something that was recommended to us. But I used to use Movie Maker. Movie Maker was my favorite for a long time. And we did a lot of tutorial videos on using Movie Maker, and it really does show the concept. So we're working on getting more videos on using the Filmora program, and Movie Maker is just not available on Windows anymore.
But our videos are still up on the website. So if you just want to get into what is video editing all about, we think there's still a good way to go.
Yeah, or if you're still using Movie Maker on an earlier version, that stuff is still good. It's very,
We also thought that maybe the Movie Maker that came with Windows 10 on the photos would be good enough. And there's a couple of videos on it, and it can do some great, very simple things, but we wanted a little bit more.
Okay. So the lazy person's way to make a movie is using Google Photos.
Yeah. First we want to show you just the quick and dirty way to make a video with Google Photos. All you have to do is gather your videos and photos that you want to use, select them, tap the plus, choose movie, and that's all you have to do. Save it. But optionally, you can reorder your clips, you can change the music, and you can mute audio in places. So I want to show you that real quick before we get into the real video editing.
Are you on an Apple or on an Android?
Thank you. Yeah, I wanted to use the iPhone for this.
Ready?
Okay. So I'm talking Google Photos, and I want to make a little movie about our scuba diving. So I got to get back down here to where the scuba diving photos and videos are. You can tell a video because it has that tiny little triangle there, the play button. So I will select this picture of the sign. I'll select that picture and that video and that video, and then one more picture of that one. So I've just selected 5 pieces just because I want to make this quick. You can select up to 50.
Yeah, I did it with 50. I made a nice little
All right, I'll do a couple 50. More.
But the more you put in there, the longer it takes too.
Yeah. And you just tap the plus. So I've selected 7 items. I tap the plus and say movie.
Now this only works on mobile devices. You can't do this on a computer.
And can you tell it's added the music already? And that's it. All you have to do is save. But if you want to change something, you can. You can grab any clip and move it up or down in the timeline for the movie. You can take a different piece of the video. You can trim the video to a different spot, and you can mute the sound on a video clip that has sound. You can mute it. So if I want those bubbles to go away and just have music. And the last thing you can do is you can change the music. So there's one in here that sounds a little bit like a Caribbean.
That might be better.
Yeah. And then you save. You get the idea. So what do you think? That took me less than a minute, right?
Right.
I mean, it really is amazing.
It is truly
what
amazing.
You can do with no effort at all.
And yeah, that's what's really nice about it.
That's why we call it for lazy people. That's the lazy people's movie creation.
But there are a few things that Google Photos movies can't do.
Yeah, you cannot make long videos. In fact, you did make one with 50 pieces, as much as you can, and it still came out to 2 minutes.
Yeah, right about that.
So that might even be the max. I said 5-minute max, just...
Yeah.
I don't know.
But you can't add titles. You can't change the transitions. You can't do any panning or zooming and that kind of cropping. And the sound volume, if you want to adjust it, you can't do that either,
right. You can have it or not, but you can't adjust the volume of either the music that's in the background or the audio that comes with each video clip.
Okay. But now we're going to get into something that I really like doing because I want to have a little bit more. Google Photos is great for quick and dirty, but if you want to do some really nice editing, and you need an editor, you need a video editor and there's a bunch of them out there. And I've been using the one that's called Filmora.
Now talk a little bit though about your process.
Okay.
So when we're on a dive trip, I mean, scuba diving, you see such cool stuff underwater.
Right.
And he takes a video camera down with him.
I take the GoPro down there. It's waterproof, and it'll shoot a lot of high-definition video, and it's wonderful. So I shoot a bunch of clips when I'm down there, and usually they're 12 seconds or less. Sometimes they're a little bit longer, especially if it's a turtle. I love turtles. And that kind of stuff. It's cuttlefish. I used to take a lot of time on cuttlefish. But
so you're constantly just almost like taking photos, but they're just a little bit of time.
So I took about 2 hours. We did 10 dives. Each dive is about 50 minutes. So I had about 2 hours of original clips of video. And I had to edit that down. The way I did it is every day after the 2 dives, we'd come back in and I would spend a little bit of time. I would import the videos from the camera onto the computer. And that way I had them where I could work with them. It was easy enough to do. And I would just go through and watch it and say, this is good, this is no good, this is good, this is no good, and just trim it all down. So I did that. And I made a video for each dive.
Everything is easier when you do it in the
pieces,
moment rather than waiting till you get home and doing it all.
Because believe me, from experience, if I waited until the end of that whole trip to do any of this stuff, probably
it just wouldn't get done.
It wouldn't get done. So I made a 5.5-minute version to show for two friends, and I uploaded that to YouTube, and I'll play that at the very end of this show.
There's also a link to it in the description below.
Yeah, somewhere down there.
On this YouTube video, in the description, there's a link to his 5.5-minute.
Okay, so the one that I'm using is Wondershare Filmora 9. There's a free version, but the free version has a watermark on it, and it's really just to let you get used to the editor. All the features that are missing from Google Photos are on there. It's easy, it works. They have a pro version too that's a little bit more expensive, but I think the lifetime version for $60, all updates and everything. Android and iOS has free versions too, Filmora Go, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Other video editing software that you might be familiar with, a bunch of them down there, and the best software is the one you know.
So that first one there, Camtasia, that's what I use, and I've been using it for years, and it's excellent. It's a $300 program, so that's not something we're going to teach for home movies.
But $60-$70.
But yeah, $60 for Filmora, and the more. Now, Jim had to switch because his old-time video editor,
Movie Maker
is no more. So he has to find something. And you're really liking the Filmora,
I am
right?
liking it. It's a very comfortable program to learn. It has a lot of features, and you don't have to use all those features, but it's pretty cool. So we're going to get into the demo here. There's a process. The first thing you want to do is import your clips, arrange them on a timeline, do a little bit of editing, add transitions, add titles, add music, and export the finished movie. So I'm going to do that now, I hope. It's going to take me a minute. You talk.
Okay. Yeah. This is different. Jim is doing I'm usually the one doing the demo while he runs the show. So he's having to run the show and do the demo because I don't know how to use his program.
This should be fun.
And we're going to go through all those steps, but with just a very few clips so that we can do it in a short amount of time. And we are using, guess what? The example of our Cayman scuba diving trip here because he has all these underwater videos.
Okay, here's Filmora. There are other projects that you've already created. It'll be over there on the right, but we're going to start with a new project. Now, the first thing you want to do is close this little message center that always comes up, and you want to import your media files right here. So I'll just click on that, and I've already put all of my clips that I want to use, my stills and the videos that I want to use, I put them into an album, and then I exported, or I downloaded that album to my computer, and I extracted all of those from the zip file. So this is a whole bunch of them. I may or may not use them all. I probably used them all for this. I'll select, 6.
So that is 1, 2, 3, 4 video clips and 1 photo and 1 animated GIF there.
Okay. But if I want to add more, I can just click them.
Okay.
So there's 9 altogether, and click on Open.
Now, are they actually in a movie yet?
No, they're just in your library or in your album for this project, and you can have multiple projects. It's really pretty cool. So I have these here, and I'm going to just start putting them down on the timeline. The timeline is where all the work gets done. You can just click on the plus there, match to media. So now it goes down to the timeline. Notice it down there. And it has some sound.
And now it's really tiny text there, but when you say timeline, it's because it tells you that you are at 00.14 in time, right? So from left to right is from 0 on up in your time.
Right. So this is a little bit of video that I've brought in. We were going to here, so I'm going to put that down there. Then we were getting ready to go diving, so I'm going to put these 2 things in there. Now we are diving.
Now you don't have to take the whole clip, right?
Well, right. You can change the size of the clip when it's down on the timeline. So I have, 1, 2, 3, 3 things in there, 4 things in there. I like this button over here. This zooms to the fit the timeline. So now everything is right on your timeline and you're ready to go.
Oh, that is nice.
Yeah, it is nice. So you can just, you have your points there, and you can just kind of scrub through using the playhead. All right, so that's the intro. We're flying in. That's the picture of the screen there, of the place. So that's like a title. There's a GIF file that I made using Filmora out of a movie. And then this. And then underwater. And then we're going to work with these clips, okay?
So that first clip of flying in, I think there's a little bit too much of that. How do you trim it?
Okay, there's a couple of ways to trim it. What you do is you select the piece, and then you can just drag it on in. And you notice that there's numbers there and how many seconds you want it to go. So you can say, okay, 420 looks good. Now I'm going to bring that over. This other piece is just a small piece. But what I want to do with this one is I want to do a little crop, some zoom and panning on this. So when it's selected, you can click on the crop tool and you can choose to zoom in and zoom out or crop. So I have pan and zoom here, and it has a start and a finish point. So I'm going to start where it's in nice and close. And the finish is going to be the full screen. So I can preview that right here. And that looks good to me.
I love pan and zoom. And that's one thing that I really miss in making movies with Google Photos.
Okay. So now we're over here. I'm going to bring this in and make this a little bit shorter. It's too long. I just want a couple of seconds of this going. Just the flag. Now you can just drag your pieces around over here like this, and they snap in. It's really pretty nice. Now this piece of video, I want this. It's too much, so I'm going to trim this one down a little bit too. I want to start right about here, where Chris is getting ready to jump in. So I'll just grab that over, and right there. Now I'll move it back so it gets to be where it wants to be. And then the last piece is over here. Chris is in the water.
Now that right there, stop it a second. I love that shot. Now, I did not take any camera underwater, and we didn't have a dive master taking photos. I want that as a photo.
Filmora makes it real easy to do. Right over here underneath the preview is a little camera, and that is a snapshot. So all I have to do is click on that. It saves it to a folder, and it also puts it over here into your library so you can use it later on. So you have that picture. It's actually a PNG file.
And it's not a bad resolution either. It's a couple of megapixels. So if you've seen any of our underwater photos, that's how we got them.
All right.
Now, I love listening to the bubbles when I'm underwater, but not so much when I'm watching the video.
Okay. When you bring in video with an audio track, it'll bring it in on the same piece as your video. But if you want, you can actually take that out of there. You can detach the audio on these clips, and you can take it out of there.
But what if I want just a little bit of it?
Well, you can change the volume
right
here.
Okay.
So we don't want a whole lot of noise in these, but we might want some background.
Yeah.
And we might be adding, or we will be adding some music to it a little bit later. Okay. So now back to the front. And these things.
Another thing that I was kind of impressed with Filmora is that you do have some color and brightness adjustments for videos. Now, these all look pretty good, but let's just take that last one there that I'm going through the canyon. And what if you wanted to brighten that up?
Okay, you select the piece, and then you have all kinds of settings. I double-clicked on it. You have color and motion. So if you wanted to brighten that up a little bit, you can just use the sliders down here, and you can get that brighter.
And that brightens the whole clip, right?
The whole clip.
Whole video, not just
that clip.
Yeah.
Right. So this clip is not affected, just this clip. Okay? But you can do it individually if you want.
All right. Now we want some transitions. Instead of just a quick change from the first video to that picture, how do you put transitions in?
Okay. You have a whole bunch of transitions right up here on the top. And I like gosh, look at all of these. 178 different transitions.
That's a bit absurd, actually.
It is absurd. But if you know the kind that you want, you can just go right to it. And, we'll take a look at maybe this one. Just drag it down and place it in between the two clips. And that's a different kind of transition. Now we're down here. Do we want to transition from here too?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So let's just try another one. You don't want to get too clever with these, but they're a lot of fun to play with.
I think just for fun once, I used every transition in whatever program I was using, and no, it looks like garbage. Just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Absolutely. I like a dissolve, and I don't want to scroll through there, so I'm going to just search for dissolve, and I'll drag that down here. Okay, so that when we go into this one, it's just a dissolve into that. And now we're underwater.
Okay, now I've changed my mind. Let's take out the bubbles altogether before you add music.
Okay, all I have to do is select the sound there and press the delete key. And that takes all the sound out. So we have none of the bubbles.
So now we can have music.
All right. So audio, there's all kinds of stuff that you can get in, and you can even download more from film stocks. That's part of Wondershare too. And look at all of these. You have rock, folk, electronic, sound effects. There's a lot of sound effects that you can get. I found one that I like, so I'm going to add that in. But where did I add it?
Right. There's called tracks. So in the timeline, there are multiple tracks. The video and photos go on one track.
Right.
Then when you add music or titles, which we will do in a minute, they go on another track. And how many tracks can you have in Filmora?
Up to 100.
100.
100 tracks.
Talk about overkill.
That is just too much fun.
And every upper track covers up the tracks below. Right. So that's something you have to start learning when you use video editing, is how to manage tracks.
But it's fun. Anyhow, so you have all of these audio tracks. But we want to put some titles in there too, right?
Right. Okay. Titles.
All right. So this is our sound. Oh, we should probably play a little bit to hear it.
And there's the transition. And another crossfade transition.
Dissolve there.
Makes it nice and smooth. And the music, is very nice.
Yeah, it's very nice. So I made that one of my favorites. All right, back to the... I wanted one more transition in here, didn't I? I wanted to do a
Between the two video
clips, I wanted to bring that one right in here.
That's kind of like a curtain opening up, huh?
All right.
Yeah, that's cool.
All right, cool. So we have our video pieces in there. We have transitions between the clips, and we have some music. What else do we want to do in there?
Titles.
Oh, okay.
And you think of titles as a whole title screen at the beginning and the ending, but what I think is cool on Filmora is it makes it easy to put words right on a clip. So we have some words to go along with this clip, right?
Okay. And that's under titles. Again, we have a whole bunch of those. You got to take that? But look at all of these. For just on the screen, I want to have something, they call it lower thirds, and I want to put it there. And Chris is going into the void, so into the abyss. Right.
Nice.
Yeah, and if you want to change that, you can just drag it around, put it up there like that. Okay. Cool.
Check over the comments there.
All right. We're good.
Okay.
All right. So we have all that stuff in there.
But then you can put ending credits, right?
Oh, yeah, ending credits. So we go to the end here. And so end credits, and they have all kinds of different ones. If you want to preview it, you can just double click it there, and you can see how it rolls. If you don't want that one, you can try a different one. Different colors, and you can change all of this as much as you want. So I like that one. I'll put that in there.
And you can put it now. How can you get it to appear right over the video?
You can drag it up
to another track.
And you can have as many tracks as you want too. So you can even put it on top of a different track.
But now if you put it below, you wouldn't see it, right? So if you want to...
The top track is first, so...
Yeah, so...
Now I want to get in here, and I want to change this information.
Oh, I'll go as Jane Doe.
You'll go as Jane Doe, and
yeah.
I'm Jim Bloggs.
Yeah.
Will Smith is here.
Oh, boy.
And Lauren isn't. But you can see where you can make all of those changes, so that's pretty cool. All right?
All right.
So now we're ready.
You need to save it.
All right, you want to save the project. Very important, save the project.
If you ever want to go back in and edit again, you have to have the project.
R3, save, and it'll save the project. That way you can come back to it and anytime you want.
But then to create the end result, the MP4.
The MP4 is an export. So you click on export, and you can give it a name. You can change the format too. MP4 is typically the best for that kind of thing, but for our videos, MOVs are good too if you're going to upload them to YouTube. You can change the resolution, all that kinds of stuff. This is 37 seconds. I'm just going to leave it right there, tell it where to save and export. It takes a couple of minutes to go through it's rendering. That's what it's called when it's doing this. And it's really pretty fast. Other renderers take a lot of time, but you can just watch it go. While we're doing that, let's go over here and take a look at that. Oh, Will cheese work while videoing? I don't think you can say cheese, even though my camera is voice activated. My GoPro, you can
Not
do that.
cheese, but there is a start video or something like that. There's another set of words that you can use to tell it to start videoing.
Okay.
Oh, you mean to say cheese while it's videoing? No, you got to tap the button for that one.
Karen wanted to tell Chris that she used your tutorial on changing the wallpaper. Cool.
Good deal.
Nice to know. All right. It's almost done there. Let's take a look at it. So the longer the video, it's going to take longer. Have a cup of coffee. It's okay. Almost done.
So when you made the half-hour one, how long did that take?
I probably took about 10 minutes. So once it's there, we can find the target. And it's over on a different screen.
Go and dive in.
Oh, I don't think we're showing this.
Oh.
Stop that. We'll play it later.
Okay.
I guess I could play it over here.
I think they...
All right. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
But we'll play it for you at the end.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see if we can get back to my slideshow.
So we're still learning Filmora ourselves. So we might do some tutorial videos on it if we continue to use it. But they have a lot of tutorial videos of their own right on their website. So that's good. And we started a little bit late today, right? So that's why we're a little bit late.
Yeah.
So once you have your video edited and made, and you want to share it, we think that there's just nothing like YouTube for sharing your videos. Because
YouTube takes care of all of the incidentals so that it'll play properly on different devices, depending on what you have.
Yeah, if you just try to share it yourself, all sorts of people will say, that doesn't look right. So put it on YouTube, and here's how.
Hi, this is Chris Gold with Geeks on Tour, and this tutorial video is going to be about uploading videos to YouTube. I'm going to do it for two different videos. One is the one Jim just made about our trip in Little Cayman, and it was done on his computer, and it is in a folder on the computer. A second one is the one that I made of our Cayman trip using Google Photos, so it's in my Google Photos account. So first, I'm going to upload this one that is on this hard drive. I'm going to log in as our imaginary friend Alan because there is one difference if you have never gone to YouTube to upload a video before. You must have a channel. So I want you to see how that works. So I'm just going to go to YouTube. And it's this little video camera with a plus right here. If you click there, then you can upload a video. And it's going to say, okay, who are you? And I'm going to log in with Alan's account. And he does not have a YouTube channel. So he gets this extra little piece here, upload as Alan. By clicking Create Channel, you agree to YouTube's terms of service. I'm going to create channel. Now I can select files to upload, and notice I have the choice of making them public, unlisted, private, or scheduled. This one is fine to be public. If you want yours not to be found by just anybody, I recommend unlisted, and then anybody with the link can see it. Select files to upload. Here is that video. And you can fill in all these details. Meanwhile, it is uploading. So you can click Publish at any time. Now it does take a little bit of time. Sometimes it's almost instant. Sometimes it might be an hour. So this is the link that you would send to anybody who you want to watch that video. And when it's done, anybody can use that link and see the video on YouTube in Alan's account. The second upload I'm going to do is from my Google Photos account to my YouTube channel. So here I am on YouTube, but I'm logged in as Geeks on Tour. I need to switch and be me. And I still click this little video icon with the plus and upload video. But this time, see, there's this import your videos from Google Photos. Since I'm logged in as the same person in my Google Photos, there's the video I made in Google Photos. And I can click publish. I should have changed the name. Now, anybody with this link can go to their web browser and see my little video. It's much more effective to host your videos on YouTube than anywhere else. Hi, this is Chris Gold with Geeks on Tour, and this tutorial.
Okay. How'd you like that? Any questions over there? I don't see any. Let's see. So I guess we're ready for our app of the week. What do you think, Chris?
All right, and that is Filmora Go. I mean, this was our app of the week last time, but it's still our app of the week. And this time I'm just going to show it to you. We're not actually going to do anything with it. And for this, I'm using my Android phone, my Samsung, because that's where I have it installed. So Filmora Go, and this is completely free. And it works both on Android and on iOS. And it forces you to go horizontal, which I like. And rather than show you from scratch, I'm going to open one that I've already started. I've only begun to play with this. So, and the point being, just for you to see that all the features that Jim just showed you in the computer version are here. So here are the clips. And you don't really have a timeline, you don't really have tracks just because of the tiny space. But you can reorder your clips, you can move them around. And when you get into one clip, you have, okay, I had to click OK. You have all the editing. Look at this. You can trim, you can crop, you can add titles, you can put picture in picture, voice over. Very few apps have that. Voice over.
I meant to say you can do that on Filmora, the regular one
Narration,
too. So this will do
voiceover.
everything, almost everything that the regular Filmora on the computer can do.
Speed. I love having slow motion and speed it up. And the fact that you can just do it in post-editing is wonderful. Rotate. If you've ever taken a video and it's been the wrong way around, you can rotate them here. Duplicate. And once you're okay with your basic timeline, then you come to the end and you have themes, you have music, you have transitions. So not quite as many transitions as in the desktop version, but I can still have a different. And notice the titles. And if I add another transition there.
Fancy.
And OK. And you can save that and have an MP4 that you created right on your phone.
Very cool.
That's Filmora Go.
All right. So that's our app of the week. And that's pretty much it for this week. We do invite you to become a member. Just go to...
Okay, well, we have review questions coming up, right?
Where'd they go? No, we're here. Become a member. See our website, geeksontour.com. Subscribe to this YouTube channel and click on that bell so you get notifications. There's the questions. I don't see any questions here. A couple of nice comments. And here are our questions. Did you learn something? We're going to do this backwards this time.
I'm going to ask him the questions this time. So which method do the geeks recommend? A, take multiple short video clips. B, take one long video and break it up in the editing program.
I say take multiple short video clips and work with those.
Much more manageable. True or false? The sound that is part of a video clip can be controlled or even eliminated in the editing program.
That's true. In fact, we did that. You can modify it. You can even have it fade in and out. You can do all kinds of stuff with that audio.
The video editor that you used on the computer is A, Quick, B, Movie Maker, C, Filmora, D, Camtasia, or E, iMovie.
Well, I have used the first three, but this is C, Filmora.
And it's actually Filmora 9.
Filmora
right?
9.
They just changed it a little bit. And there is also a Filmora Pro.
Right.
But if you have video clips, photos, and music, how many tracks do you need?
I say you need 2, but you can have as many as you want.
Okay, but the point, photos and video clips are all part of one track.
Right.
Or
when it
only have to be one track. But then music is definitely a different one.
Right.
True or false? Video editing requires internet.
Absolutely not. If you have all of your pictures on your device, on your computer, or for the Go app on your phone, you don't need the internet at all.
For Filmora.
For Filmora.
But now for Google Photos, you absolutely do.
Right.
And for Quick, I think you did. So it depends on your editing software. But we wanted to make sure that it did not need internet, thus Filmora.
Okay.
Your finished movie should be an MP4 file. To share it with friends, attach it to an email, upload it to YouTube and get link, or post on Facebook.
We think the best way is to upload it to YouTube and get a link. That way you're not clogging up your bandwidth going up and down with these videos or clogging somebody else's email up with an attachment. Just give them the link and it'll play perfectly on whatever device they're watching.
YouTube is good. And how much does that cost?
Yeah, well, YouTube's free. We love YouTube.
Amazing.
And it works. So we're going to do another one of these member meetups. We hope all of our members can join us. You'll get an invitation in the mail. We do this with Zoom. It's a conferencing software, so we can see and hear a bunch of people. I
had a great time last time we did it.
It was a lot of fun.
It was nice to get to see you and hear you face to face.
Right. So Tuesday at 7 p.m., this Tuesday, June 11th, and wait for that invitation. Just click on it. If you don't have Zoom installed, you don't have to own anything there, but it might download a small piece of software so that you can participate. And if you have any questions, just get a hold of us.
And this is for members only. So it's a member benefit. People ask us questions, and I even made a video based on somebody's question in the last time we had a meetup.
That's right. That's really cool. So, Chris, what's the webpage that lists all of our weekly shows?
Geeksontour.com, and the menu item is weekly class.
And the webpage that lists all of our recent newsletters.
Geeksontour.com, the menu item is blogs and news.
All right. And why do people pay $58 a year to join Geeks on Tour?
Well, the member benefits are being able to ask us questions in the Q&A page, to have access to our hundreds of tutorial videos, learning guides, and ebooks, to get the written notes to these shows, and now to be able to join us in our member meetups. And some people don't take advantage of any of the member benefits. They just pay us to say thank you for all that we give for free.
That's really nice of you. Thank you. Well, that's it for this week, I guess. I'm Jim.
I'm Chris.
And we are Geeks on Tour.
Keep pushing those buttons.
Okay, I'm going to play that video now.
Oh, yeah. So this is the video